Hello and welcome to the living room. Before we start today's Saturday stroll, I wanted to kind of clarify something. Last week I was talking about being overwhelmed and kind of lost the mojo basically. And that is, fighting mealybugs for 3 days in a row and not really having time to enjoy the orchids. Normally I enjoy taking care of these ladies, watering them, wiping them down, actually looking for critters. But when you're on the warpath basically and you're very focused on, I gotta find them, clean, 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 put it away, water, that kind of thing, it's not fun. And I know everyone has gone through that, whether you have orchids, houseplants, combination of things, it's not fun and it gets very disheartening really, like you're like, oh my God. But, there's always a but, right? This week, I did look through, like I was diligent, I was keeping an eye on. I did find a couple of mealybugs, but not to the point like they were a couple of weeks ago. And I am enjoying taking care of them again. So let me get you off the tripod and let's go take a look and see what I found. I think I'm gonna have to get a new supervisor. He seems to be sleeping every time I look at him when we're recording. First thing I want to show you guys is this Sherry baby that was sent to me by Cherie or Sherry. I'm not sure which way it's pronounced. Please let me know in the comments below. But it is the Oncidium Sherry Baby Sweet Fragrance. She is kind of downsizing her collection a bit and asked if I would take this lovely girl, and I said, well, of course. So she did arrive yesterday, and I know that she gave her a good CalMag seaweed soak before she was shipped, and she was shipped on the 1st, so she did arrive in a couple of days. We're only a couple of states, well, actually we're neighbors state-wise, and so I went ahead and gave her another soak just to kind of help her recover, and then she was growing in self-watering leca, so she is in leca, and I did add a little bit of pond in there. Just it's not the Lechuza pond with fertilizer, it's just a no-name pond brand, just to kind of help retain moisture around her for a while. But she does have several new growths coming. We have 1, 2, 3, and then there's another one, if I can get it right there, and then we also have one there. So there's about, oh, maybe, let me get it around the corner there. There we go, this one right here. So there's about 4 or 5 new growths coming. So, and she's got beautiful bulbs to help her kind of recuperate. And still have not addressed Morgan here. She's still sitting in here, and you notice there's one missing. I've been using this as my catch-all too in the corner for sheathing and stuff that I take off. So I did give her a good soak yesterday as well, since I was soaking the Sherry baby. So she's had a good CalMag soak. And I will be addressing her. I have to address her today. Like, she's not hardening up. Like, she's not droopy, but I got to get in there and see what's going on and kind of reposition her. And the bark is still really good. It's only been in here for about a year. So even when it was wet earlier, I was trying to break it. And it's the Orchiata bark, so I'm just going to reuse the bark that's in here. What is that? Oh, that's a piece of charcoal. Y'all, I saw that shiny and I thought that was like a snail or something. Because if you look at it like this, I was like, what is that? So it's just a piece of charcoal. Okay. And she is kind of starting some new roots right there. So I really need to get in there and check her out. This is another one here. I actually have a notebook with a list of to-dos, and it's getting longer and longer. So I need to start marking some stuff off of my to-do list. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, last couple of weeks I've been a little overwhelmed with the amount of attention that they've needed, and it's not good attention because I was on the hunt for bugs. But now, now that they're a little more under control, I think I'm getting it back. I'm actually enjoying looking at them and seeing all the wonderful things that they're doing, such as my Sensor Blue. Look how much that growth has grown. And then the Marasaki down there has a lovely new growth coming on it as well. And look at the back bulb growth here on the Purpurata. She's coming right on along. And there was something else. Oh, And look at our bloom. Well, our bud. You see it peeking through? It's broken through the little sheathing there. So that should be in bloom, I'm going to say probably by the end of next week, give or take. Because it's broken through, so it's going to take it about a week, maybe more. You know, I jumped the gun on a lot of these things. I kind of moved these guys. I don't know why, just aesthetically, it was just too much strappy going on over here. So put this over here, move this other way so I don't fall. And then Vanda here, the Col Marie, just still working on leaf growth and root growth. I just love this little cluster of aerial roots right here. Like this one right here is starting to get ready to activate again, and all of them are kind of greening up on the tips. So I'll have to start spraying those guys. Let me show you the most exciting thing. Well, for me. Oh, well, look at my roses. That one right there is going to be awesome here in a couple of days, because look at all the buds. We got so many buds, and it looks kind of like that because last weekend we were expecting to just get rain, and we ended up getting like a rain and snow combination. It was really wet, and the snow just kind of smushed it all down, and she's still trying to recover from that. But that one there is doing really well, as is that one. But yesterday, let me see if I can get it in shot. Hold on. Yesterday I went and I got me another one, a red one, right there. And right now she's just kind of sitting in that white pot. I just have her sitting there. I need to go get another big barrel pot like that and have my husband cut the hole out of the bottom, because the soil here, it's just too sandy. I've been amending it for the last 4 years, and I'm just done. I'm just going to start potting them like this. So they're potted in regular potting mix, and the bottom is open, so as they're growing, of course, they'll grow down into the sand or dirt, but majority of it is soil, so they'll have something to eat, because I've lost so many. And I know this one is in there, but this one here, I guess she just likes it down there because she's the only one left. I initially had 5 rose bushes that I planted, and she is the only one that's left out of the original when we first moved in, that hasn't given way. And she's actually bigger this year, so hopefully she's gaining strength and she's finding food somewhere in there. But back to the orchids. Look what we have on the cucurata. Ah, isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness, she's just gorgeous. And look what else we have. Let's see if I can get it into focus. Oh, there it is. Do you see? We have us a gorgeous new growthy growth coming. I'm hoping to get more than one, so maybe I can get 2 growths off of her. So far I've only gotten 1, but I think with this refresh that we just did on her, I think I might get more this year. That's the fingers crossed anyway. And then of course this gorgeous lady is still in lovely bloom. She is just gorgeous. I love her. And then this one is the No ID Vanda. That has a lovely spike. And I do have it kind of strapped right coming out because I don't want her growing towards the window. So that's why I kind of strapped her so she'll grow this way. But once she blooms, I would appreciate help identifying her. I didn't take very good pictures of her last time, so I'm having a hard time. So once she does bloom, we'll kind of go on the hunt together. Elastica, Burgundy Elastica, or otherwise known as a rubber tree plant, just opened this leaf. And like I told you guys before, I do kind of bend them back just so they don't grow straight up. I kind of don't like that. So that as it hardens off, it kind of does this, but is already bringing out a brand new little leaf there. And I'm very proud of myself. I went through this week because I was kind of feeling disheartened. And I went through and I was like, you need to go find orchid you're proud of. Make yourself feel better. And girls and boys and ladies and gentlemen of all ages, did I find some. This is one here. This is the Maxillaria, I will let you read the big long name, Karen, that I got at the Denver Orchid Show in, I believe it was in October, September. But I am loving the fact that I am able, one, she's still alive and on a mount, but she's got so much new growth in addition to growth that she is maturing. So I'm expecting, I'm thinking big here, I'm expecting she might actually bloom for us, and we might actually see those gorgeous little blooms, because she did have like one left on her when I purchased her, but of course it quickly went away. Another thing I'm uber proud of, look at that collagen growth. I love that very much, I love that, as well as dun 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 dun. Look how long that spike is on the Orange Kiss. And now she's always spiked for me, but reason I'm very proud of this one is it is not drooping. It's still staying nice and firm because I'm keeping her hydrated, as well as, let me move Wilsonera, because if I don't, I'll end up knocking her over. I don't know where I'm going to set her. I'll set her right here. Sorry for the shakes, guys, but as well as, if I can get her down, these new growths, look at that. I don't believe there's any constantining on these guys, other than right there at the, that's old constantining, but nothing new. Look at that. I'm so proud of myself, because normally by now the new growth, and I'm just going to move her right over here so I don't knock her over, and I'll put her back in a minute. Usually the new growth would be severely constantined. Now, this is not my proudest one, but I am keeping this one much more hydrated. And yes, they do have some constantining at the top right here. But if you look at this one here, she's coming out a little more clean without the crinkling leaves. Ah, Twinkle. That's another one. 1, 2, I believe we counted them last week. There's 3 or 4. I am going to get into this No ID Oncidium. I'm going to have to clean her up. She's got a lot of old bulbs, but lots of new growth that are starting roots, and so I need to get in there and clean her up and just kind of reposition her and see if we can't make her look a little bit better. Unicum, look at that. Look at the size of those leaves. Oh my goodness. Just doing marvelous, marvelous. And we have a new growth coming on the Antelope Dendrobium, and that one right there is still going nice and strong. Still not trying to open that bud yet, but we're getting there. And then what else? There's nothing really on this shelf. Oh, look at the size of this growth. It is like it's starting to leaf out, but this was the last growth here. So it's reached the same size, so pretty proud of that. Now, here's where I'm going to run into a problem. And I've been thinking about how I'm going to fix this. So I have these large oncidiums down here. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't think they're going to fit on this shelf forever now. But whatever. They fit there for a minute. Now they're starting to get a little bit big. And then look at the Kingianum. Look where the growth is. It is right below the top of that shelf. I have 2 more coming back there. I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to put these guys. So for the immediate fix, I'm thinking to put the Oncidiums up here, put my Latorias back down here, and then put basically just kind of switch these shelves. Put all of these down here, and then put these up here for now, as far as the big ones. Like the smaller ones, they can stay where they're at. I am not complaining about the growth at all, because you know what? That's what you want, right? You want your ladies to get bigger and larger and take up more space, but then you got to figure out where to put them. Because look at these 2 growths on the Kingianum. Like that one and then that one. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. That one, like they're just going to town, And look at the size of the base of that one. Oh my goodness, just lovely, just lovely. And then my front part. Sorry about the finger there. The front part of my Purpurata Carina. I moved that bark out of the way, and since I have, that new growth is really, really taken off. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then of course we do have still budding on the Dusty Bell here. And this lady right here, this Philodendron Ring of Fire. Guys, do not buy this plant for $30, $40. If you pay attention in the grocery store, I think I told you guys this before, I got this one on a markdown for like $3.99, $4.99. Its original price was like 16 bucks. Don't spend a bunch of money. Once she kind of gets going, she gets going. I recently potted her in here. She was in a, I want to say like maybe 4-inch nursery pot. And then this is a 6-inch. But look, she just hasn't even unfurled this leaf yet. And we've got a new leaf coming right here. So once she decides, kind of like it here, want to grow for you. This one here also has kind of re-sparked my interest in other houseplants besides orchids. The original name of this channel was Trisha's Orchid and Plant Life. And then because most of what I was focusing on was the orchids, I changed it to Trisha's Orchid Life. But this one here is kind of reminded me like, girl, you like other plants too. Why did you get rid of all of them? And I thought, well, I don't know why I did. But I really didn't get rid of them, just hid them away. So now I'm trying to find ways of incorporating my house plants, or what most people think of as house plants. Of course, orchids are house plants too, but our regular house plants with the lettuce. So that's why of course everyone knows I've had the cacti or the cactus, I've had my rubber tree plant, I've had the bromeliad, but I also have other things, you know, like my rickrack over there. That is just loving life under that sun. And you know, I thought, like I think I said this in last week's video, I thought that it was getting great light where it was hanging where the wooden basket is, but apparently it was just surviving. But since I've put it here, it is really starting to thicken out, and I cannot wait for all of that new growth to become the little zigzaggy look. I love that. Absolutely love that. Dendrobium down here, my nobile, I noticed, let's see if I can do this. Here we go. I just didn't want to, because I still have a little bit of growth up here, but we should be getting some root activity here in the next couple of days. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. There it is. Do you see that little nub in there? So he should be starting on his roots pretty soon. And then, of course, I'm just waiting for something to happen with Miss Zelda here so I can get her reported. Look at her biggie. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Again, going to have to figure out where I'm going to put these guys. And then I am keeping this one hydrated because I check it pretty much every day, and so far, so good. Also, while we're here, let's just look at these guys. So the 5 orchids that we got from Curl Smith, I believe they're all ready to be basically repotted. I just want to center them all because every one of them, their new growth is like kind of close to the edge here. And since everybody is growing new roots, kind of want to get them in there, at least home for the next couple of years. And I think I broke the code on my Fritz Nicholas Spring Dance. So this one is one that I bought back in 2019 as a seedling. This is the one that I said, you know, 1 growth a year. Well, I don't know why the light bulb didn't go off sooner, because I've known for a while now that seedlings require more moisture. Well, this one has been kept in bark, large bark by the way, and perlite in a net basket, drying out quite quickly. I said, well, let me see if I can put some moss in here, put it kind of in a pot that doesn't have a lot of aeration other than at the bottom, see if I can get something going. So as you can see, this one is moss and mainly bark and perlite with just a little bit of moss spread throughout. Look at the root growth on that thing. I did this in April. April of this year, 2024. It is the beginning of May. Look at that. I don't know why I did not connect that this is still a seedling. And I think it's because I had it so long, I just assumed, you know, it was ready for something bigger and better. But apparently not. It is still a seedling. But look at this new growth it's pushing out. This one has really started to take off. So the goal for this particular orchid is I want another growth. I want to get a second growth on this one because this one started probably February, March time frame. I want another growth, 2 growths off of this year. That's the goal. That's the goal. And roots. So y'all help me send out some messages to the fairies and let them know that's what we need for this one. And then of course the angel eyes, the one that just bloomed for us, is working on some lovely roots back there. And this one, while I was checking yesterday, I will post a picture of what I found. I did cut the spike because it was full of them. And you know, I have 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 soft clouds. So I'm thinking if this one keeps inviting friends that aren't allowed in the house, I think I might just have to bin her because I can't have that kind of disrespect in the house. It's just not fair to the other children here who are obeying the rules. Because she is a main culprit right there. That one right there. Oh, and I just noticed on the Jane Austen. Is that a root? Or is that a new growth? Oh, that's a root, but that's exciting because she's a greedy one when it comes to roots. She's not a prolific root producer as of yet. Doesn't mean she won't be in the future, but since I've had her, she's been greedy with her roots. Look at the Schilleriana back there. Oh my goodness. Cattleya Schilleriana, by the way. Just loving life. And then our ICPU new growth here. Let's see if we can move this out of the way so you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see it. I don't want to knock anything over, but there it is. Boom. It's coming right on along. And then on the lines of space, let me just stand back. That one right there, yeah, it's almost touching the shelf. Hold on, guys, I got to change the battery. I said change the battery. I actually had to charge the battery because it was dying. But let's look at this. Let's see, where was that? Okay. That lady right there, I believe if she continues her pattern of increased growth, she's going to be at the top of the shelf on the next growth. This one over here, my Copper Queen, she is continually getting larger and larger. And of course, my wax ball here, her growths are staying pretty decently, but she might get taller. And then of course the Laelia Zip has the potential to get taller. Luckily these leaves have kind of gone off because if this one were straight up, it would be up on the shelf. The Epicattleya Renee Marquis, the I think it's the Tyler. Yeah, it's going to eventually hit the top of the shelf. And then of course this one, and I am going to repot this one. I'm just going to soak this in some nice warm water. I will be repotting this, so keep a lookout for that. And of course these will stay fairly small for now, but I have seen Maxima get kind of big and bushy. And then this one here as well, I need to address this year. I said I was going to wait till next year, but look at it. It's not doing well. So I am going to be getting into that as well. So I have thoughts. I've been kind of figuring out what I can do to maximize this wall space. I'm thinking of getting another one of these, putting them side by side, putting this over where that bench is, and then get something. I'm thinking perhaps like one of those portable closet or clothes hanger things where I can kind of hang some of the girls that are sitting like my Vandas right here, or possibly even in the extra bedroom. and then maybe putting the smaller shelves in front of the window and kind of clearing this space up a little bit, and then we could probably see them a little bit better. They'd probably be displayed a little bit better. But either way it goes, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with all the ladies, because again, it's one of those things, I was looking for the positive in all of the war, and the positive is they're still growing and they're still getting large and taking charge. Matter of fact, let's go over here. Look at this Hawaiian treat. Look at all those roots coming out there. That is just gorgeous. So, and I think she just looks so great up there, because I'm thinking if I get that, it's like a clothes organizer rolly thing that has like a shelf at the bottom, but I'm thinking I could put like some of the big guns on the bottom shelf, and that would open up this space as well for some of these ladies, because they're going to get plenty of light from this Barina light. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What's your thoughts? And look at that Sherry baby. Again, getting large and in charge over there in that corner. Oh, that's the wall. I got triggered when I was doing like that. I thought that right there was a mealybug, and it's not. It's not. But let's see. Oh, we have a lovely bloom. So Loki got a bath this morning, and this is just kind of if you want to kind of increase the humidity in your room for just a little bit, you can kind of dry wet towels, clothes, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I use this for. But here is what the bloom looks like on the No ID ICPU, and I believe this is my sunshine. But look at the striations right here in the sepals. That is so pretty. Very pretty. Very pretty. So I will leave her in bloom for probably about a week or two, and then we will cut her so she can focus on vegetative growth. Although she is doing rather well, because we do have lovely roots going down into that pot, but I still want her to focus on some vegetative growth for this year. But again, here's another soft clouds, and this one has, knock on wood, boom, boom, no mealybugs. This one is the Fang Savory Orange. I think I'm gonna cut this spike because I noticed that right here, it died off, and it did that because I did repot her into a bigger pot, because the roots that she had were just kind of taken over. So this is one of those examples where I always say, if you're going to repot a Phalaenopsis while it's in bud, you're probably going to lose those buds. Whereas if you wait until they're about like this, then you can go ahead and repot without fear of losing the bloom. The bloom life might be shorter, but you're probably not going to lose the bloom. Oh, look at Ayala back there. Hey, baby. Oh, sleepy girl. All right, and then what else is going on over here? Still don't see anything new. So this is one of the March ICPUs that did lose her leaf that she came with. And I believe, if we look really closely and try to get that to focus, but I believe we have a new leaf growing in there. It's a little early to tell. I hardly ever show you guys this one anymore. This is the Velvet, the one with the pretty burgundy flowers. She actually needs a remedia, and is that a new root? It is. Wait, is that a new root? No, that's an old root that's gone down, but I'm just waiting on her to either activate her aerial roots, get new roots, something, because she's been in this for about 3 years, and this is kind of heavy in moss, because when she went in here, she had no roots, and she is senescing the bottom 2, maybe 3 leaves, and that is normal. It's if she starts senescing any of these other leaves, these newer leaves, then I will become concerned. And then this one here, let me just grab it out, is just, these are kind of hanging in the kitchen, but this is the Phalaenopsis Pure Moon Pixie that I think I probably need to repot her too, because no, she's been in here for 2 years and hasn't really done much, but she's finally getting some roots in there, and she's doing leaf growth. So she's grown those 2 leaves so far this year, and then she's working on that 3rd one. Let's see if I can put this back without dropping her. There we go. And then that's just the flamingo, looking all lovely. But overall, I am very pleased with these ladies, and I I was overwhelmed. So last week when I said, oh my God, there's just too many, blah, 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 blah. It's not that it's too many. I just need to get myself reorganized and get back into my habits that I had prior to going to war with the mealybugs. And I love these girls. I like taking care of them. There are still some that I probably need to just go ahead and let go. They're just not worth it anymore. Because in the beginning, you know, you rescue everything. You want to build your collection. You want a bunch of stuff. But now that I've got so many ladies who are doing so well, maybe I just need to let go of some of the ones who are, you know, just giving me more grief than happiness. Let me know in the comments below if you kind of have that same situation where you have some orchids you're holding on to more for sentimental value than for they really bring you joy and you really, really want to revive. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.